Most people think intelligence is something you are born with. Either you are gifted, or you are not. But Avicenna, one of the greatest minds in human history, believed something radically different. He believed the mind could be trained, shaped, and sharpened, just like a muscle. By the age of 18, Avicenna had mastered medicine, philosophy, logic, mathematics, and natural sciences. Not because he studied longer than everyone else, but because he learned differently. While others memorized books, Avicenna built systems. While others searched for answers, he searched for understanding. And the techniques he used over 1,000 years ago are still powerful today. In this video, you will discover how Avicenna trained his mind, absorbed knowledge faster than his peers, and developed a thinking system that allowed him to solve problems others couldn't even understand. These are not vague motivational ideas. These are mental techniques. Practical, repeatable methods, that shaped one of the most influential intellects in history. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by learning. If you've ever read something and forgotten it the next day. If you've ever wondered how geniuses actually think. Then stay with me. Because Avicenna didn't just learn faster than everyone else. He learned deeper. To understand how Avicenna learned so effectively, we must first understand how he viewed the mind. Avicenna did not see the mind as a container to be filled with information. He saw it as an active instrument, something that organizes, filters, and transforms knowledge. For him, reading was never the goal. Understanding was. When Avicenna opened a book, he didn't ask, "What does this say?" He asked, "Why does this have to be true?" If he couldn't answer that question, he didn't move forward. This mindset alone separated him from most students of his time. He believed that knowledge only becomes real when it connects to reason. Facts without structure were useless. Memorization without logic was fragile. This is why Avicenna often read the same text dozens of times, not to memorize it, but to reconstruct it in his own mind. He would pause frequently. Reflect. Question assumptions. Break ideas apart and rebuild them. Learning, for him, was an internal dialogue. And this leads us to the first mental technique that allowed him to learn faster than anyone else. Avicenna never passively consumed information. Instead, he practiced what we can call active reconstruction. After reading a section of a book, he would close it completely. Then he would try to explain the idea, not aloud, but mentally, as if he were teaching it to someone else. If he couldn't explain it clearly, he knew he didn't understand it. So he returned to the text, not to reread everything, but to locate the missing link. This process forced his mind to work harder than simple reading ever could. Modern science confirms this. The brain learns best when it struggles slightly. Avicenna intuitively understood this centuries ago. He believed confusion was not failure, it was a signal. A signal pointing to deeper understanding waiting to be unlocked. Instead of avoiding difficult concepts, he leaned into them. And every time he reconstructed an idea from memory, he strengthened the mental pathways associated with it. This is why his knowledge didn't fade. It became permanent. Another reason Avicenna learned so quickly was his obsession with connections. He never studied subjects in isolation. Medicine was connected to philosophy. Philosophy was connected to logic. Logic was connected to mathematics. Everything pointed to everything else. When Avicenna learned a new concept, he immediately asked, "What does this connect to?" By linking new information to existing knowledge, he created a vast internal network. This made recall effortless. Instead of searching his memory, ideas surfaced naturally. Think of it like a web. Pull one thread, and the entire structure responds. This method also allowed Avicenna to generate original insights. Because when ideas collide, something new emerges. Many of his breakthroughs came not from new information, but from new combinations of existing ideas. Avicenna was extremely disciplined with his mental energy. He did not study randomly. He chose specific times, often late at night, when the world was silent and distractions were minimal. But more importantly, he knew when to stop. If his mind felt foggy, he rested. If he felt sharp, he pushed deeper. He understood that clarity was more valuable than hours. Instead of forcing productivity, he protected focus. This allowed him to enter deep states of concentration. What we now call deep work. And in these states, learning accelerated dramatically. One of Avicenna's most fascinating habits was thinking while walking. He believed movement stimulated thought. As he walked, he replayed ideas in his mind, refining them with each step. This created an internal dialogue, a continuous conversation with himself. Questions led to answers. Answers led to deeper questions. Learning never stopped when books closed. His mind was always working. This habit allowed ideas to mature naturally, without force. Avicenna's genius was not magic. It was method. He trained his mind patiently, deliberately, and consistently. And the most powerful lesson he leaves us is this. You don't need more information. You need better thinking. By reconstructing ideas, forming connections, respecting mental energy, and engaging in deep reflection, you can dramatically transform how you learn. Avicenna did this over 1,000 years ago. The question is, will you start today?